everybody. Welcome to yet another episode of the CEO Chronicles. I am your content queen, Deeksha Vora, and I bring to you week on week delectable, delightful content on how do CEOs around us scale up their businesses. And I have one such prominent CEO, and I would actually say prominent because he's very prominent in my life. He's been there with me for about 2.5 years, and I've literally seen his transformative ideas. I've worked with him, and for me, it gives me utmost pleasure in introducing you all to Mr. Kamalpreet Singh, who happens to be the Director of Business Development at the Ranjit Group of Companies, focusing on his revolutionary brand called R7 International. Welcome aboard, Mr. Kamal. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Diksha ji. Thank you very much. Thank you for the lovely introduction.
Most welcome. So, as I discussed, our CEO Chronicles is all about digging in deep and understanding what has led to you growing your business. So now let's just go a little back into the past and understand. I believe, you obviously started your journey from Canada, and was this something that you always wanted to do?
Before Canada, I would rather go a little bit even further past. Our family has been around for last 41 years in this beautiful country of Dubai and UAE, right? My father came here a long time ago, started his journey as a construction labor guy to all the milestones that he has achieved till now. Canada was a very interesting part of my life. Back in 2008, when I decided to move there to study, I did my graduation from there in business management. And while I was doing my education, I also started my first business over there. That was for landscaping business. In the meantime, in Dubai, my father and my brother they started in back in 2000 itself, 2008 itself. They started the heavy machinery rental. So we provide all kind of construction equipments to any major and minor player of UAE. We are proud to say that there is no such landmark project in Dubai that we were not part of, either through our manpower supply or through our heavy machinery rentals or interiors. We have always been part of each and every major landmark of Dubai.
Awesome. And so when we talk about, your journey in business, now I'm
Right.
understanding that in 2008, you started, your landscaping business in Canada. And then, your family started their machinery business here. Now,
Yes.
coming a few years down, how have
Right.
these two converged into one
Right.
brand? And
Right.
how have they, I mean, basically diversifying into these two lines helped you scale up and take your business to the next level? Do you think it was a good strategy to do two separate things at one time?
Definitely, definitely. It's always a good strategy to have more avenues of revenue for yourself. Again, I will take it back to the period while my father was working in these various roles. We always had experience of construction and related industry. So for us, it was comparatively easier for us to move into the construction equipments and all these things. We also had experience with the payment terms and all the other things that are working in this industry, right? So for us it was making sense to move into other related avenues from
Yeah,
construction itself
yeah,
rather than going into something totally different,
sure,
right?
sure.
And at the same time we also wanted to make sure that we are broadening our scope. So it's not just that we are using the same people that we were working with prior, right? Now with our additional interiors department and our manpower supply department, our technical services department, our maintenance department, we are, even though the core remains the same construction industry, we are now related to many new individual clients and individual companies as well.
So no, I actually want to dig a bit deeper into this whole
Right,
thing, where you
right.
mentioned that now you try and enter into relevant industries related to
Yes,
your core. You don't
right,
enter into completely like unheard or like completely diverse industries. However,
right.
there's a certain school of thought, when I mean we obviously having this conversation with other CEOs as well, and they say that their opinion is you pick up one niche and you
Yes.
develop your expertise in it, and that's what you are known for, and that's how you scale up. Whereas,
So
yeah,
when we
what are your
started,
thoughts?
sure. So when we started into the interior services company, uh, one of the things that we noticed in Dubai that was missing was people were not paying enough importance to the installation services. So,
Yes.
for example, in Dubai and elsewhere, we in the region, we think that installation basically means moving one object from one place to another place. Whereas when it comes to interior installation, there are such amazing artists all around the world that are working on projects in Dubai,
Hmm.
right? And for individual projects or for their projects in Dubai, sometimes they don't have a proper team that is experienced and trained to particularly install some of their artwork or some of their other projects in Dubai. So that's where we brought in our niche with our expertise, with our training, with our equipments, with our tools and everything. We made some great collaborations with many international designers who have projects in Dubai. And for completing and all their projects, they have been using our team specifically because of all the reasons that I explained. And we are happy with them, and they are really happy with us as well. So this gives us a niche to actually grow our brand internationally. So
Sure.
whenever they have projects in Dubai, we help them to do it over here. And sometimes when, as a Dubai localite, if somebody wants their house or anything to be done in Europe or in Lebanon or elsewhere, we have all these international designers that have collaborated with us in past. We provide these connections to those people, and we are able to do some international projects as well.
Oh, that is interesting. That's nice. So now when we talk about business, especially in the Dubai sphere, and one complaint of everyone who's dealing in construction industry,
Yeah,
whether we're talking about fit outs, interiors, etc., whatever, is the
right,
cash flow management.
right.
Because cash gets stuck, your receivables are anything between, like on milestone basis between 60,
Right,
90, 180 days, etc. It
right,
really depends. And cash
right,
gets stuck. How do
right,
you, as a businessman, mitigate
right.
this gap in your business?
So we actually took two different courses for that. One is that all our interior services and fit out services business is done to direct to the consumer basis. So we do not actually work with all these contracting and construction companies, though it is a product related with them, though it is services that are managed by those people, but our payments are directly secured by the end user. So let's say if we are doing a villa, so the villa owner is responsible to make
Oh,
payment to us, not the construction company,
nice.
right? And for our heavy machinery rental business, yes, there is that challenge of cash flow management, but with experience you get to know how much and what kind of delay we can expect, right? So we try to suggest everyone to keep a minimum reserve of at least 6 months to 1 year, so that in hard times we can definitely work on them.
See, this is a very interesting point that you've mentioned. A reserve, or what in popular terms is now called a contingency fund. That
Right.
you're keeping it for all unforeseen circumstances, because obviously these things happen. Have you ever thought of maybe venturing into any other lines to mitigate this huge risk that you have in construction with at least your cash flow and your payment cycles and so on?
Very interestingly, you have brought this up. We are actually investing into our new venture, which is going to be all the luxury car taxi services in Dubai. So that's something which is a cash flow positive business.
Yes.
So that is again going to add into our revenues. And we are also venturing into newer projects like restaurants and stuff, which are again cash, daily cash businesses.
Okay.
So we are diversifying our funds in coming years.
Okay. See, now with a lot of entrepreneurs who also scale up their businesses, I think, and this is one thing that I absolutely admire about you, Kamal Ji, is whenever I contact you, you always have time for us. And a lot of the entrepreneurs, especially when they're diversifying, when they're handling so many businesses, they don't take out time for the essential things, and so on. I want to know, as an entrepreneur, how is it that you manage your time, or how do you balance your time? How do you figure out that, okay, fine, now is the time to invest in this particular thing, and maybe I'm and there's this whole dilemma that at least all entrepreneurs go through. Am I spreading myself too thin? If I'm in
Yes.
so many places, will
Mhm.
I be able to give equal attention to each of them? Okay.
Right.
How do you, as a leader in your industry, ensure that you're present everywhere and you're doing what is required?
Right. So there is a strategy for that actually that I use. First of all, I like to see what resources I have in house. So, for example, the taxi service that we are going to start, right? So, taxi in indirect words is transportation business.
Yes.
Again, the heavy machinery rental is also a transportation business,
Yeah.
right? So, we have experience of that,
Hmm.
right? So, for us, it is not something new, though it is a different product,
Yeah.
though it is a different line, but it is again related to the vehicle management, right?
Absolutely.
So for us, it's very important to see that we have some experience of that.
Hmm.
Similarly, when I started the interior services company, the resources that I had
Hmm.
were my manpower that I was using for my manpower supply company, my technical services company. It was important for me to understand how I can pivot with the same existing resources
Hmm.
and move into a different direction of cash flow
Hmm.
with the same resources I have. And second thing, I always suggest everyone, all of my friends as well in the business, is always start from the top to bottom. Many people, they end up investing their time in lower management by adding on the workers first, and then like maybe then supervisors and all
Right.
these levels,
Right. The
right?
blue collared ones, etc. Let us just fill
Exactly.
those. Yeah.
They
And
try to
keep the
save.
control to ourselves. Yes.
Yes, they do save some money by not bringing in the CEO or somebody up front, right? They think that they will be able to manage that, right? But they don't understand the amount of time they actually end up investing themselves in the business. So
Right.
for me, I always go with the strategy that you know the business, you understand what business you are getting in, you find the right people from top towards the bottom of the chain, right? And then that person create a system and culture in the business. Because sometimes when we bring in all the workers and everyone before, and then suddenly we bring a external manager or external CEO or somebody, there the dynamics can change. The sometimes the people might not understand or might not like the way the new manager is doing the things that
Yes.
you were doing
Yes.
differently in the past,
Yes.
right? So rather bring in the manager first, bring in the CEO first, let him or her create a
Culture.
culture in your business,
Yeah.
right?
No,
So
but
in
then
that
you
way
see,
you not only save your own time, but you also ensure that the culture will not be changing.
this is gold dust that you have given. I think this is one of the best things that I've heard lately. With that, you fill up the top first, and then you go down, and then you go into the bottom. But in that case, Kamalji, I think see, for me, if I were to actually bring in another CEO and then go out and expand, my first challenge is going to be, is the guy or girl that I'm going to be hiring as my CEO, how do I ensure that they understand where I want to take the firm to? And how is it that I get them to buy into my vision? So how do you
Right.
do it?
So again, my suggestion would be to bring in somebody from industry, bring in somebody from experience. Don't
Yes.
bring in a new person from a different industry and tell them, okay, you have been CEO for that particular industry, but I think you can manage the new industry as well. Make sure you are bringing in a right person from experience from the same industry. First thing. Second thing, make sure that you have previously somehow interacted with that person, right? And third thing, I always go back to one of the interviews I saw a long time ago. It's about know what challenges they have faced in their previous businesses and how they overcame that, right? Uh, I mean, like at a certain level, you will find all the MBAs and the highly educated people. How you differentiate between them is what challenges they have faced in their previous businesses and how they overcame them. So that is what is going to help you to select the best person for your business.
That is nice. That's interesting. So, Kamalji, every business undergoes certain, establishment years when the business is slow and they're still trying to make a brand for themselves, trying to make a name. And of course, then we have one breakthrough year or a few breakthrough years where we say, oh my God, the game has changed. Now, we start making profits, great profits, we are scaling up and so on. Which was
Right.
that one breakthrough year in your business where you felt that, okay, this has changed for me?
So the year 2021, 2022 have been really, really lucky for us, especially in interior business for Dubai in general, because people actually spend a lot more time after COVID and during COVID in their house. So they were able to see, so many things wrong with their house. So now they decided, what, we need to focus on making this place even better and stuff. So lot more investment is coming into interior renovations and extensions and stuff. Even otherwise, if you think about it, Dubai being 50 some years old now,
Yes.
right? The all the older construction
Hmm.
needs new renovations,
Of
right?
course. Of course.
So in today's day, if you see, there is a lot of new construction going on, but then at the same time, a lot of renovations are coming in.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
lands remaining the same amount of land in Dubai, it is
Yes. Yes.
always going to be a challenge for them to find space for new buildings. So there, not only today, at least for next 15 years, I see there's going to be a peak towards renovations.
Absolutely. And, Kamalji, what are some of your winning strategies that you feel, where, I mean, upon implementation have changed the course of your business?
Collaborations, finding right people to collaborate, finding right brands to collaborate, making sure your staff is trained with latest equipments, making sure your staff is trained with the latest trends in the industry, right? These are some of the things that you have to constantly keep your eye on. We brought in brands from Lebanon, like Miss Bruna. She is an excellent designer in Lebanon and in that region, right? Zara from Russia and Kazakhstan. Those girls are doing amazing jobs over there. So whenever we are doing projects in Europe or in any of these areas, we get to know about newer materials that are coming out.
Sure.
Going to exhibitions like the Wood Show or Index or Dubai Design District, always be ready to learn new products, always be ready to experiment with these new products. And the one another thing I would suggest is make a experience center in your office. So as you know, we are shifting to our new office, we are making an experience center where not only we can experiment on the designs and stuff, we can also show those ready products to our clients, right? So for example, let's say if somebody wants us to make a kitchen for them, right, we would suggest them to come to our experience center in Jabal Ali. They can see what all materials we can use for their kitchen. They can see what all accessories we can use for their kitchen. And according to their need, according to their taste, we can modify that. So it's very important to keep yourself updated in what's coming new in the industry.
I love this concept of this experience center. So, as in, what does it entail? You've created a room or you've created a space wherein you've just kept samples of different things like the materials that you use, or have you even created certain models, etc., that people can go and check out?
So we are creating a room which has kitchen, ready built-in kitchen, all fit in, everything is working in there, plus wardrobes, plus islands, everything is built in over here, right?
Wow.
So you can come here. Not only we will show you that particular kitchen that is built, we will also show you how you can change. Let's say you want to change the color, or you want to maybe choose a different countertop, or maybe use a different kind of handles, right? So we can actually show you samples, plus we can show you an actual built-in kitchen so that you can see the quality of work, you can see the quality of finishes, you can choose from multiple selections of different accessories. So it makes client have more confidence in you, right? Client have more information about the product that they will be using. So same strategy we are using for our overseas projects as well. We have done projects in Jersey Islands, UK, and all these places. But we have shown the client the whole project over here. We have shown what will be used, how it will be looking, and everything. And then all of this thing is shipped over there to our channel partners in these different countries, right?
Right.
And then they do the assembling, the final assembling on site over there. But the client should, this industry is a very, very feel based industry, the
Yeah.
experience based industry, right? So it's
Yeah.
very important for people to touch and see and understand what it's going to look like,
I agree. I agree. I agree.
right?
100%. And then, Kamalji, there was this one idea that we were discussing some time ago, which I think was amazing. For all our viewers, I'd like to tell you, Mr. Kamal is a he's basically a think tank. He'll wake up different mornings and he'll come up with, okay, Diksha, you know what? Let's just do this. This is what is on our mind, etc. So, we obviously were talking about having a website where people could pick and choose what kind of
Right.
interiors, etc. they would want, and so on. So I'll not go much in detail, but I'm just saying that what I really like is you're always on top of the trends, and you're always on a lookout for what else is missing in the market. you know
Right.
so you're finding out different things that other people are not doing, and then you
Right.
you start thinking about it. So I want to know what really inspires you to do that. Where do you get these ideas from? Do you sit with customers regularly and figure out what are their pain points and so on and so forth, and then you devise your stuff, or what do you do?
Very correctly said. So, big chunk of my personal time goes into networking with all these different people, being from client side, being from designer side, being from supplier side. I always like to entertain them in my office, or I like to go and visit them and see what new they are cooking in their labs, right?
Hmm.
And from my client's point of view as well. See, we are a very bespoke company by choice. We
Right.
do not want to be a mass production company where thousands of kitchens are made at one time and thousands of wardrobes are made at one time. We want to make sure that we are taking only enough projects that we can deliver the best quality. So in this way, I actually get opportunity to meet all these amazing people as a client or as a supplier, and understand what their exact needs are and how we can fulfill them and how we can make their experience better with us. Be it from integrating we are trying to come up with a solution for smart solutions for our kitchens as well, right? We are bringing in some tab technologies so that in future, whenever the client, even after 5 years, the client should have all the information in hand, rather than saving papers for so many years, and then when you need the paper you don't find out what's the exact color of your walls or whatever, right? We are making QR codes for all this information and putting them in each of our products. So even if we are not in contact with them, it will be easier for them to bring in us or bring in any other contractor and get the same information from that QR codes for their projects.
Right.
So in the longer term, we want to make sure that our post project services are equally good than what our sales services are, right?
See, I think this is a mindset shift,
Right.
Anji. Because the thing is, a lot of us in business think about how can we have the client coming back to us for everything.
Right.
Oh, where I mean, a lot of the website developers also, in our industry, they keep the passwords, etc., everything with themselves, and they're like,
Right.
okay, so the client keeps coming back to them year on year. He has complete dependence on them. But then
Right.
now there is this other shift that we're seeing, with people like you who are coming out and saying, you know what, listen, let's just equip the client with
Right.
everything that he would need so he can start off from anywhere. Now,
Right.
obviously, there is this tentative risk in between
Right.
where he may not come back and choose you.
Right.
Okay, so you are running the risk of leaving the client because you're letting go of a certain control.
Right.
Do you not feel insecure?
No, the part of the reason why I don't feel insecure is again the experience we want to give to the client. Uh, when your project is done very smoothly and the clients do not feel the delays or material changes or design changes or any such thing, right? For any successful project from a client point of view or from a contractor's point of view, there are three things: time, quality of work, and budget.
Yes.
Eh, so these are the three pillars that I like to stand upon, right? So if I'm doing the project in time, keeping consistency with my quality of work, and keeping it in the budget that client is, happy with, right? So I feel very confident that they will be coming back to us. And the second thing that we have also added into this is we actually give a post service as well. And what I mean by that is, let's say we have installed a main door to a client's house, right? So after a year, my serviceman will go see the quality of the door, if it needs any repairs or if it needs any polishing or anything like that. We give that service for free, right? Because this is my product. I ensure that in the longer term it is done well and it is being maintained properly. We train our not only our staff, but we also help the clients to know what kind of products they should be using
Yes.
to
Yes.
clean the doors and everything, right? And also we have started our AMC Avenue, so annual maintenance contracts, right? So we are with that, we are always in touch with the client. Every
Nice.
month or two or whatever,
Hmm.
we have to do
Hmm.
some
Hmm.
AC cleaning or water tank cleaning or something like that, right? So we are consistently in touch with the client. So whenever they want to make any modification, renovation, or even a small thing like putting up a new cupboard in their house or wardrobe in their house, they are already in touch with us, so it's easier for them to just give us a call and go from there, and they have already experienced our service and everything in their past, right?
Which is excellent, because see, I would rather believe in winning the client with your service
Yeah,
rather than winning them out of compulsion when they have nowhere else to go, and then they keep coming back to you.
exactly,
So they'd
exactly.
rather come back to you because they love your work rather than coming back otherwise. I'm now coming to my concluding question of this interview, Kamalji. We obviously talk about we've had long conversations about mindset shift, and we've talked about how we're implementing technology and so on and so forth. What are your top three tips that you would like to share with our budding entrepreneurs, okay, who obviously want to grow businesses, scale up businesses, and do better?
uh, Three things: be best in quality. Make sure that whatever you are promising should be delivered in quality wise. Be very honest and be very clear with not only your staff but also with your clients. If there is a delay, you should anticipate that before itself and let your clients know that there will be a delay, right? So they do not expect something to happen today and it's going to happen after 3 days. And always keep an eye out about what's new, what's next, what's happening in European market, what's happening in North American market, what new products are coming in, so that you can ensure that you are able to give that as an option to your clients in Dubai.
Yes.
Dubai is a very interesting landscape. It
Right.
has all kind of people over here that have traveled around the world, that have seen so many products in so many different countries. To be successful over here, you have to be very upfront there.
Very nice, very nice. Well, it was, like I said, a delectable, delightful conversation. I think we've, gathered so many nice, golden nuggets here. We've talked about how do we enhance our services, how do we keep in touch with our suppliers, how do we understand what is the real pain point of our customers. So, friends, whoever's watching this, if at all you have any of your houses to renovate or get your interiors for, Mr. Kamal's details and his website details are popped out in the description box below. Feel free to get in touch with him, drop him an email, and he'll respond to you at the earliest. And I will be back with one other CEO next week talking about what brings out the difference in his business and how is he about to scale it up. Thank you so much, Kamalji, for your time and for your insights. They were amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Diksha.
Thank you. Thank you so much.